on the audio so everybody can hear us. I can't hear Murder now.
It's because I'm not talking.
Why aren't you talking?
Because I'm trying to figure out the overinflated name underneath you. Is it a representative of your ego?
Yes. And your ego is so small that, it's so thin. No, mine's because I'm a big guy, man. It's all got to be big together. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then what the hell is mine? Skinny letters. I ain't a skinny dude.
No, you're just short and wide. Come on now, you seen the picture of me walking with my phone. You're the one that put it in there being shady.
I was gonna say you're the one with stout in your name, kind of like teapot, short and stout.
No, stout is in the beer, bro.
The
good stuff, not that American garbage.
It's a teapot.
Oh, that's you, pal.
Grim the teapot. So, 25 minutes later.
Yeah, no shit.
Hello, people.
Yeah, sorry, Pete. I'm so pissed off right now. Freaking OBS. I am going to go look and see if there is another thing out there that I can use other than this, because it just keeps freezing up, and it's been doing this since the last update.
You're a little quiet. Your stream's a little quiet.
Is it really?
Yeah. Like I got the volume maxed out on Twitch.
I got everything.
Should be way loud in my ear.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Hold on. Sweetheart, what does it sound like you and you're not even sitting there? He's not even back there. So I can't get her to tell me what it sounds like to her. On my desktop, on my OBS, I have everything maxed out in OBS. OBS, everything is maxed out.
You're not using your normal headset either, looks like.
No, I'm using my normal headset. It's just that the mic itself. I'm using my condenser mic now.
That's what I'm saying. You're not using. I guess you're not using the microphone on your headset.
No.
That might be why you sound different.
Probably.
Your condenser mic is condensing your voice. You sound quieter.
Well, I got everything. Oh, let me do something here. Let me put another filter in.
He's gonna break it.
Yeah, I'm gonna break it. Watch this. Let's put a gain on that son of a bitch.
Oh Lord.
Alright, now tell me what does that sound? Sound any different?
You're louder, just still kind of. It's not clear like before.
Yeah, it's like I said, I haven't had anybody be able to listen and give me feedback on what it sounds like. Plus, I'm using a broken board anyway. So I got things turned up as loud as I can get them, before it starts clipping.
And he forgot my picture?
No, I did not forget your picture. Search's computer had a meltdown. I've had 2 hard drives starting to go still. They're still on their last leg and everything. She has 2 hard drives, but one of them got her main operating system on it. And it started acting up about a week or so ago. Not even. And just 3 days ago, it completely just said, done. No recovery. You can't have me no more. I'm out. And,
so what's that got to do with my picture?
Well, it was all on that hard drive. Well, I should say it was on that hard drive. The pictures and everything are on the other hard drive, but with the network now being screwed up because we now have a new network, because Charter, Spectrum, Bright House, whatever the hell they want to call themselves, screwed the pooch. And when we got rid of the cable television portion of our services 3 months ago, they finally got out and around to actually disconnecting it, because I bitched them out enough and told them that if they don't fix it and I lose this account that is worth, X amount of dollars, I'm going to take it from them. And needless to say, they had a person out here the next day getting it fixed. But it still took them over 24 hours to fix it, because they ended up deleting my MAC address for my old router, which then nullified my network, nullified my internet access, because they basically shut down my router. And so they had to come out and put a brand new router in, and they have these new updated routers that are two pieces, a router and then a modem. So it comes into the modem, goes to the router, and then out to our systems. So now I'm still in the process of trying to put everything back to the way it was. And it's taken so damn long, it's not even funny. I never realized how much I put into this until everything went downhill.
So Grim has finally joined the proper way to run a network. Two separate pieces.
Well,
yes.
See, the thing was,
when you combine equipment, for example,
yes,
modem and router
yes,
into one piece of equipment, one thing breaks, the whole thing's done. Instead of just
yes,
replacing the one part, don't combine equipment.
Yeah. And like on my end with Searchy's computer, we have a separate router in our office area. So we're connected to each other. Even if the system goes down, we're still connected. But we can't still be connected if her hard drive went bad and it no longer recognizes the network. So now I gotta get her system to recognize the network, plus I gotta redo the whole network anyway. But it will get done. Murder's Picture will be back. It would be best if he just went and got a damn camera and then said, "Hey, look at me."
I've got one. See,
But
I've
you
got
won't
one.
use
Now,
it.
if you check your Discord, my picture is in your Discord private message, by the way, because I have a copy of it.
Yeah. Hold on. Discord private message. Oh,
When you
probably
created
up. Yeah, it's all the way up at the very beginning of the freaking messages. I'm trying to scroll through them all now.
No, it's the last one I just sent to you in Discord private message.
Oh, you just sent it to me. I'm going through the freaking
just sent to you like 3 minutes ago. Well, when you created the image, I had downloaded it and saved it so that I could put it on Twitch and everything. So I have a copy of it.
Not private message. What the hell am I? I'm a damn murders channel. What the hell is this shit? Not even up in the private messages. Yes, sir. Oh, it won't let me download it. Nope, won't let me do it.
What are we doing?
I'm trying to get your damn picture up.
I got another picture for you too that we can use in the meantime.
Your middle finger.
I have one of those. It's a skeleton middle finger. But it's one of those SpongeBob things. It says 3 days later. I also have a picture of a stick figure guy humping the word "it."
I used to have that one.
I have that one, and I have the one of a skeleton. It's like an X-ray of a hand, so you see the bone like flipping the middle finger. Because the place I used to work at, this guy used to like to walk by my station and look down at my phone to see what I was doing all the time. So I changed my home screen or my lock screen to that skeleton middle finger, and every time I'd walk away, I'd hit it so my lock screen would light up, and then when
Yeah.
he'd walk by, my phone would flip him off. Fuck you, nosy motherfucker. Well, he would complain that I wasn't getting my work done because I was too busy playing on my phone, but never actually had anybody complain about my work not getting done. So anytime I'd walk away, he would casually, like that's his way to go, which is actually not near the walking path. But anyway, he would walk through my station and look down at the little uh, podium stand thing or whatever that I had my phone on to see what I was doing. So I started putting the middle finger thing up there.
No, search not being shared still. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with this here. And while we're talking about this, I'll still kind of see if I can get this damn thing to work. But anyway, Murder has found a couple of interesting, controversial pieces because of how we feel and then how everybody else feels. The first one is the iPhone 7 or the iPhone 7 Plus.
iPhone sucks.
Yeah,
And here's an article describing why. One of the many reasons. I mean, I've got a book of reasons as thick as like the 1970s friggin' Webster Dictionary or the original, 4,000 page Bible or some shit
Yeah.
of why iPhone sucks. But this is just one reason. The recent update of iOS to 11.3 has broken some of the microphones.
Yeah, well, and they know that it's one of their mess ups. They know they screwed up because you can go to any Apple authorized service provider, and which is very few and far in between, by the way. You might have to drive hours upon hours to find one, but they will fix it.
I was going to say, which on that subject, don't let them tell you otherwise. I know some people that are watching this may think, oh, well, Best Buy has got their quote unquote Apple experts in their Apple store inside the Best Buy stores. No. Despite what they may tell you, they are not certified Apple experts or technicians.
Service providers. They are not on the list. If you go to Apple's authorized service provider list, you'll see that they are not on there.
They're no more than a
you
brochure.
You can buy shit from them. That's it.
All they are is a brochure. They can tell you about a product. That's about it. Let me tell you about this product. No, thank you. I can read the description card. Your job's no longer necessary. You're fired. Go home.
Yeah, right.
They don't do much.
When have they ever?
A friend of mine a long time ago posted on Facebook. Yay! I'm now a certified, and in quotation marks, Apple professional. Like he had to take some class or some shit to become a certified Apple professional, which basically
Yeah.
just means that he can tell people all about Apple. Yay! You go sell Girl Scout cookies now. But yes, the new update. If anybody has an Apple iPhone, it's not every one of them. It's a rare occasion, but 11.3 may affect your microphone on the 7 and 7 Plus.
And only the 7 and 7 Plus.
Yeah, to where the microphone will stop working during phone calls, FaceTime videos, recording videos, things like that.
Yeah. And this particular article he found on cnet.com, just so you all know. And they explain that what they're doing, trying to word this, but what they're doing is they're going in and turning off features to see if that fixes it. And basically they're trying to say is, oh, well, you can't use this feature now because it interferes with you being able to talk to somebody. So, and one of those features happens to be the Bluetooth headset. Can you say upgrade or you can never use your iPhone 7 again?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Yes, people may argue, well, sometimes, Android updates messes up stuff. Yeah, it does. But other than us expressing our opinion and great dislike for Apple products,
Are disdaining for Apple.
the majority of Android users are not overly excited or pushy about Android like Apple users are. Apple users will argue till they run out of breath that Apple is God. And there's no other thing other than Apple. It's Apple or nothing. Apple for life, kind of type of attitude. Most Android users just make fun of Apple users. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like being vegan.
Yeah.
Gotta tell you all about it.
And I am more than willing to listen while I sit there and munch on my giant half-pound cheeseburger with bacon.
Yeah, that's a different discussion. I just went there in my head that we're gonna have to talk about that restaurant in Canada that was
Oh,
being picketed for its meat use, and the owner of the company comes out and right in the front window puts a bunch of tables together at the front window, throws down a side of venison and starts
I
carving
saw that.
it
I saw that on
right
Facebook.
there.
Yeah,
Carving
that
it
was funny.
right there in front of them. And they called the cops on him. And the cops walked inside and started talking with the guy. They were all laughing, and then the cops left, and it pissed the damn vegans off even more.
Yep.
I loved every bit of that. So, it's just like Apple users, they're all the same.
So if you have an Apple phone, be careful with if it pops up that it needs an update. Which my youngest daughter, only reason she got one is because I love her so much. She has an iPhone 7 Plus, and I don't think she's gotten the update yet. But if it pops up, I've told her to let me know, and we're gonna watch and see what it does to hers.
My son, his mother bought him one, and Apple just always funny, sorry. But anyway, she bought him one, and I think he's got an Apple 7. I think he got an Apple 7, so I'm waiting for him to come to me telling me if he has an issue with it. And then we're going to end up having to go all the way to nearest Apple stores in Tampa, right? Hello. Nearest Apple store, Tampa. Yeah. So yeah, for us it's in Tampa. It's like an
Yeah.
hour drive, depending on traffic. And it's in the Ritchie Mall. Freaking bunch of snobs in that mall. It's called the International Mall, and there's so many freaking snooty ass people there.
So yeah, if anybody has an Apple 7 Plus, and you get the update, let us know. Let us know if it affected you or not. You know, the article, like the article says, it's not all of them. It's a small. They call it a rare occurrence. I think rare is too strong of a word to use. Rare to me means like getting struck by lightning is rare. You may never see it in your lifetime, but it is a small occurrence. So let us know if you have a phone that gets affected by it.
Yeah. Let's see this. Oh, you're talking about the International Mall?
Sushi's gross.
I can't eat seafood, so I'm not eating.
To me, sushi is like becoming vegetarian. We didn't climb to the top of the food chain and discover fire to eat raw food and grass.
Started
Cook
at the
my
bottom
fish and
eating
I'll eat
raw food. We started at the bottom eating raw food before fire.
it. Yeah, we worked our way up. There's no point in going backwards. It's like buying an iPhone. You just go backwards.
Yeah. So, like Murder said, if you guys notice something like that when you have your iPhone 7 or iPhone 7 Plus, or even any iPhone that this might even happen to, right now they're only reporting iPhone 7 and 7 Pluses, so it could be
True,
any of them that get this update, which is the iOS 11.3.
true. Which I haven't told my iPad to look for or check for an update yet. So kind of curious as to if you have an iPad also, any kind of a tablet device from Apple. If it happens, let us know because, like he said, they're only reporting these two types of smartphones right now. So,
And they're really
yeah,
not that smart. It's Apple for crying out
yeah, I'll have to have the iPad search and see if it comes up with an update. And sure, some of y'all are thinking, "Oh my God, you have an iPad?" Yep, wasn't by choice. Trust me, it was free, given to me by the school, and it's all they offered.
loud.
And it has to be returned when I'm done. Thank goodness I don't have to keep it.
Yep. You update it, it goes into snips and fits, you take it back, they give you another one.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll walk up to the IT guy and be like, "Here, dude, iPad took crap." And he gives me another one.
And then just say, by the way, 8 updates to 11.3.
Yeah. Well, I know the IT guy. It's weird. The IT guy we had at my school before, he was a cool guy, younger guy, about my age, maybe a little younger. He was leaving. One of the guys I was taking classes with was a student at the time, was only going for his associates. Um, right as he was graduating, our IT guy was given an offer somewhere else and was leaving. So this guy that I was taking classes with, who was a student, is now our IT guy. But he doesn't care for Apple either. Just kind of a funny story. He went from student to IT guy at our school.
Yeah. So anyway, the next thing was the MSI's gaming laptop, the GS65. Um,
So I don't want to read the specs yet. Like all the under that first picture there, I
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
read
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yet because that's what my issue is with is part of the specs.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can tell you some of the features of this laptop, which really isn't that bad, but I really don't like MSI products personally.
I I don't own anything MSI, so I never bought anything MSI because I've always purchased Gigabit or XFX and what else? Seagate, Western Digital,
Yeah, and the hard drives
and
I'm not,
LG.
too
That's it.
particular on
That's
because
it.
they're all just about the same.
Yeah, they are. They are. But I've always just went with bargain purchases when I would buy things. Um,
Now,
because
most of, as I say, anybody who follows our show knows that majority of the stuff I have is Asus. I just personal preference. I love Asus. It's Asus and Logitech. It's my two top go tos.
yeah, and for me, when it comes to graphics cards, I'm pretty much sticking with XFX only because of the lifetime warranty of the card, and you can take the card and depending on which card too. But most of your AMD cards are still under warranty even if you water cool them through XFX. But if you get
Yeah,
that same card through somebody else and water cool it, you've voided the warranty on it.
yeah.
So
Now this laptop has a lot of nice features um, for an MSI. Now, the only thing I don't like about MSI is not what they offer; it's the what seems to be the quality of what they offer. They just some of their stuff just doesn't seem to last like some others do.
um I got my son built a computer and one of my older sons, he built a computer and he bought MSI products. And he did it only because, he has to have the best of the best. That's his thought process. I have to have the best of this. I have to have the best of that, or else it's not worth it to him. So he spent quite a bit of money on his computer when he built it. His first computer he built was a micro ATX board that he built on that system. And then his next one was an MSI build, and bought some MSI case. He got MSI motherboard, MSI this, MSI that, and it's just overboard with the MSI products. And he ended up burning up a $400 CPU because the MSI cooling didn't work.
Yeah, and in my personal opinion, again, my personal opinion, MSI to me is not best of the best. If you want best of the best, I'm not saying you have to go Asus, and I'm not saying they're best of the best. It's my preference, but MSI to me is kind of third place.
Hmm, I'd give you that. I'd give you that.
It's kind of. I mean, they have some expensive stuff. Don't get me wrong, because they can make stuff look pretty. For example, this laptop, backlit keyboard and stuff. All these fancy little colors make rainbows on your keyboard and shit. If you like that kind of thing, they can make things look pretty. Therefore, slapping a bigger price tag on it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's better. They are usually a budget brand, in my opinion.
Hmm, I I personally wouldn't say that myself, only because it seems like everything I've seen coming from MSI has been more expensive than brands that are on the same level as them.
Yeah, well, they've been raising prices of some of their stuff, motherboards especially.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
like I said, I
definitely.
think I think they're just making it look pretty, and I see it as I believe they have a mindset or the concept that if we charge low, which is what they've been for a while, they've been lower price items. If we charge low, we're gonna look low quality. But if we charge more, people will think we're a better brand. I think they're trying to use a price tag to portray
Hey, how you doing, High
higher
Power?
a higher end. But I don't think their quality has really met their price range yet.
No, no.
So this laptop in particular, like I said, has a backlit keyboard. You can make all these funny little crazy rainbow colors and make it look like a pack of Skittles, whatever.
Yeah, and
15.6 inch.
it lays flat too. You can actually open up the laptop and lay it completely flat.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just not catching up with that. They've been doing that for a while. Other
Yeah.
manufacturers have. We bought our oldest one who's in college, her Toshiba laptop that she had for years. Finally,
Yeah.
finally structurally gave out, not hardware wise. Hinges were starting to come loose. And anyway, we bought her an Acer laptop that folds all the way back around and it's touchscreen. You can make it a tablet and all this fancy fun stuff, but not something I'd pick. But yeah, so they do have a decent looking laptop, and most of the components inside are pretty good. Now, this is a $2,000 laptop, $1999. So 15.6 inch screen, 1920 by 1080. So it's a 1080 HD screen, 144 hertz refresh rate, which that's pretty nice. That's pretty high.
Yeah, but can it play Arc
Well, that was the
at
next part I was
60
getting to
frames?
is the graphics card that they're showing is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070, 8
Max
gig video
Q.
card, 8 gig video card built in. Now, Max Q and all that stuff is just fancy shit they add to it to make it sound all cool and special. Yeah, it's 8 gig 1070, plain and simple. Which
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty good for packing into a laptop. Now, one of my issues they don't describe in this article that I linked to IGN.com, it doesn't really have. I want somebody to do a benchmark test on this thing, not of. They have a benchmark in the article down towards the
Yeah, I was
bottom
gonna say they have game
of
stuff.
games that they've played, but I'm talking about a performance hardware benchmark. This thing's got a 1078 gig video card. How well does it cool inside that slim case?
Oh, I'm
That's issue.
telling you,
That's
that
issue one.
the heat alone from the processor.
Well, I'm just getting to the video card. That's
Oh,
enough
okay,
heat
yeah.
off of that video card alone that it's going to need its own fan with exhaust port to cool that video card.
Well, and the display alone at 144 hertz is going to put out more heat than one that with a standard 60 hertz refresh as well.
Yeah, well, the
So,
monitor's up on its own kind of thing. So,
but it adds heat to the whole thing as a whole, though.
the monitor doesn't.
I think.
It's on hinges away from everything else.
Well, I mean, as a whole. I'm talking about a whole. The whole thing heats up.
Yeah. Well, my reference is to the heat inside the case, the main core components, what's under
Okay.
that
All right.
keyboard.
Okay.
Between the keyboard and your table, that's where the majority of your heat's going to come from. In most laptops, that's the problem HP has with a lot of their laptops. They can't keep them cool enough, which is why a lot of HP owners will tell you, even their gaming laptops, eventually it gets to where you can cook an egg on them.
Yep.
I've had 3 HP laptops in my lifetime. Stubbornly kept buying more of them, and finally was like, you know what? Fuck it. Went to desktops.
Yeah.
The only laptops I've bought since then is 2 Dells, which still work if I had the power cords. Power cords is the only thing that broke. So I don't have a problem with Dell too much. They're not gaming computers. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't even care if they bought Alienware. They're still not gaming computers. Toshiba's decent for student schools type stuff. But anyway, that's off subject. So you got this 1070 8 gig video card in this laptop. That's a little bit of heat there. Next thing down is the processor. It is an i7 8750H, 6-core, 4.1 gig processor.
With turbo boost, which means
Yeah,
they could go up higher than that.
that's like giving a hamster caffeine. It doesn't count.
Yeah,
It's
it'll still die quicker.
yeah. So you got a 6-core, 4.1 gigahertz processor. That's pretty hot. It doesn't say what kind of wattage it takes. It'll be pretty low because it's in a laptop. It's not going to be the same as a desktop. But still,
It's still gonna put out heat.
it's still going to put out quite a bit of heat. You got a 6-core, 4.1 gig. Even in a laptop chipset, you've got to be pulling 20. I'm just gonna guess around 20 watts of power for that thing to function.
Yeah.
Maybe a little over 25, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, like you said, that's more
gigawatts.
heat. Yeah, that's more heat inside that little case. What's under that keyboard? All right, so not bad. They got a 1070 video card. Nice. An i7 6-core 4.1 gig processor. Nice for a laptop. That's nice for a desktop. I mean, let's be honest. That's a nice desktop build so far.
Now, the memory itself is going to put off heat, but it's also going to take in a lot of heat because it's all within itself.
Mm-hmm.
And
now
so,
they got 16 gigs of DDR4 memory in this thing.
So they're running 2 8-gig sticks is what it sounds like they're doing.
Yes, and if they're smart, they have one stick under the keyboard and one stick under the bottom of the laptop. If they're smart, they separate them. So they're both not collecting, they're not stacked, and they're both not collecting the same heat from the same location, because it'll just cause your memory to heat up even faster. If you separate the memory, even if inside the case gets hot, they're not helping to hold the heat against each other. Some companies will stack them.
HP.
Dell does it too.
Yeah, Dell does it. But HP, I've noticed it more so because I've owned HP. I don't own Dell.
Toshiba's will split them. Sony's will split them. Acer splits their memory. Asus, I'm not certain. I've never taken an Asus laptop apart, but the other three, I know they split their memory. One's under the keyboard, one's on the bottom behind a door. Now, with all that so far, you got a 1070, you got an i7, you got 16 gigs of memory. Like I said, that's a damn good desktop build alone, and they've put it into a laptop. So,
yeah,
decent, right?
Yeah. Well, and the hard drive is an SSD.
Okay, well here was my biggest issue, right? Okay, this is marketed. It's in the name. Gaming laptop, right? We're gamers. Most people who watch this show are gamers. Here's my issue. 512 gig hard drive. SSD, that's great. Oh man, that's cool. It's got an SSD. 512 gigs. What are you putting on that? What are you playing? Minecraft?
Let's see. Arc by itself.
You sure as hell ain't putting Arc on there.
Well, Arc by itself is damn near almost 100 gigs. 125 gigs.
That's what I'm saying. You're not putting Arc on there. You're not playing WoW on it.
You know, WoW is less than freaking Arc.
But it's still more than 512.
No, it's not.
You're gonna. Well, no, WoW's not. It's what is WoW like? Just over 100?
No, when I reinstalled WoW with all the ups, with all the expansions, I think mine came up to like 65 gigs for it. But still, 512 is nothing but a mouse on a hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of my point. It's a 512. You're not going to put a whole lot on it. Not a whole lot for gaming wise.
No. My entire Steam library. Let me go, because I have it on its own separate hard drive. Let me go to that. Let me see my property. 702 gigs. My Steam library, 702
Yeah.
gigs. 43.2 gigabytes for WoW at the directory level. And that's with all expansions. So my entire Steam library is 700 gigs. I don't even have all my games downloaded for Steam. I only have a partial of all my games downloaded for Steam.
Now, I had a 1 terabyte in my computer before. I've since replaced it. My old hard drive's in my wife's computer that we built her. I ran out of space and was deleting games to get new ones on there mainly because of Steam. Like you said, Steam library is rather large.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, for me as a gamer, me personally, I guess I should have started with that. 512 is not big enough for me to want to call something a gaming laptop. You put a terabyte in there at least.
A minimum of a terabyte.
Yeah, a minimum, because like I said, I filled up my 1 terabyte and I had to get a bigger one. I've got a 4 in there now, and I'm not worried about filling it up at all. But for me personally, it wouldn't be enough to make it a gaming laptop because we both have rather large Steam libraries, so it wouldn't hold even what we play now. And yeah, me and you, neither one of us have every game downloaded.
No, we don't.
So I mean, I guess you could consider this a gaming laptop if just some kid or college kid, got some Blizzard stuff on there, maybe a few games on Steam. That's about it. You're going to need the rest of it for, whatever else you're doing on it, papers and pictures and music.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about the hard drive stuff. Now, I went and purchased Searchy a hard drive with my 620 stuff. And it was like $60 for 2 terabytes. And that's for the Seagate Barracuda hard drive. Not the white labels or anything like that, just the Seagate Barracuda drives. And when at the time that I was purchasing that, they had a 4 terabyte hard drive that was under $90. It's now today at $96 for 4 terabytes.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, if they would just go back to putting in a decent size hard drive into that laptop and go back to the old mechanical hybrids, they would be better off than going with that 512 SSD. The hybrid would be just good enough that you wouldn't need an SSD.
True. Everybody's all into the SSD thing, but the bigger you get in SSDs, the more expensive they're going to get. Now, when I replaced the hard drive in my desktop with the 4 terabyte, I got it for $87.99. Shopped around a little bit, found it on Amazon on sale. $87.99 for it's a Hitachi Ultrastar. But I mean, you do some shopping, look around. You can find them cheaper. As far as this laptop in particular goes, me personally, A, I don't care for MSI. B, I don't think the hard drive's big enough. I'm not sure how well this thing's going to stay cooled. And when I think of cooling a laptop, I don't think, hey, I've got to buy one of those third-party fans to go underneath it. Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that if it's cooling itself properly. This is a nice laptop. I'll give it that. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Pretty fast. But I wouldn't pay $2,000 for it.
Now, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom for myself, because I had read through this. At the bottom, IGN did their own verdict about this laptop. Okay. Now, I'm going to read what they said. And they said there is a lot to like about the GS65, about the design, how thin it is, overall power, the display, to boot times, the battery life, which, you know, if you look at the battery life, is actually kind of good in comparison. But it's not giving you a battery life, while it's in the middle of gaming. You know, that's going to be a totally different number.
Yeah.
You know, with the additional cores, that's the other thing. Most of your older laptops, and even some of these laptops they have now, aren't 6-core. They are dual core, I think. And I don't know if any are quad core. They might have some quad cores out there, but 6-core is going to give you a lot more to your gaming laptop, yes, but like you said before, we're looking at a lot of these. Now, with all those things in there and all the cooling that it's going to have to do, with all the core products, or, you know, core, not core products, core internals, it gets hot. Those fans are going to get loud. And they even said, you know, in their verdict from IGN, that the fans get loud because of all the cooling that it has to do. There's no hyper cooling in there. There's no, what is that one piping they use? It's a copper tube piping, but it's filled with a heat dissipating gel on the inside of the copper tubing that's supposed to make it run cooler. They don't even use that. Cause, you know, it wouldn't run as hot and the fans wouldn't need to run as hard in order to keep it cool. Now they said here that if you're looking for extra FPS due to additional cores, you're going to have to keep looking for a new laptop because this laptop does not give it to you.
Yeah, one of my other issues, if you look under performance there, where they've tested the laptop with different games, me personally, I don't believe these are good games to benchmark a quote unquote gaming computer.
Yeah.
GTA 5, okay, you know, somewhat intense graphics, not as bad as other games that we play nowadays. Hitman 2016, it's like, what? Why that
But,
one?
but look at the frame rate on Hitman 2016 versus all of the other, laptops. Now, all these laptops are running the GTX 1070. Okay? They're all running 1070 GTX, NVIDIA cards. So, and the Stealth Thin, you're running 37 frames, and Asus, you're running what, 42 frames. I think the most you're getting out of it is 49 from the Strix, the ROG Strix, or what is that, Republic of Gamers,
Yeah,
from
it's
Asus.
Asus off
It's an
branch.
Asus,
Yeah.
yeah. They're getting 49 frames per second. So right now they're doing better than this other laptop, and they're $100 cheaper.
Yeah, but see, the thing that they're not, in a comparison like this, they're showing. Are these actually frames per second they're showing here?
Yeah.
Okay, they're not saying what these other computers have in them.
No, they're just
Um,
going on GPU alone and cost and battery
yeah,
time and battery
I mean
time.
your
Those are
FPS
there.
also depends on your CPU and your memory.
Yeah.
So some of these other laptops may have, and this has a high processor and a high amount of memory, but it doesn't mean it's the best, which is why I said earlier MSI makes them look nice, but their hardware is not really up to being what they're trying to look like.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, they could have you can't really make an i7 look good but not be good. Okay, the processor's decent, but what kind of memory are they putting in these 16 gigs? You can get some pretty shitty 16 gig memory.
Yeah.
So these benchmarks, I don't know, not just the games they're using. I think they should use more graphically intensive games if you want to really push these things. But at the same time, make this chart bigger. Put put the description of other hardware in these other laptops. What brand of memory do you have in here, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is a proper test. I need to know everything that's in it, not just, hey, I got a 1080. Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, I can. It does this compared to this. What are you
Yeah,
running
but can it make me a sandwich? That's what I want.
though? Yeah, but my thing is, what else is it running though? Because being a computer geek and a tech guy, it's not just numbers on a box that impress me. Like, ooh, 1080,
It's the
16 gigs of
performance.
memory. I want to know who makes it. I want to know what else is in there with it. What type of memory? Like, what are your speeds? What are your latencies? What processor do you have? How many watts is it running?
Yep. It's like building your own PC. You see a lot of PCs out there when they compare each other, you're looking at all the specs and they give you all the specs of each computer. When it comes to laptops, they think, oh well, it's just the GPU. That's it. And it's not. It's all the things that make up the whole laptop is what you need to take into consideration when you're comparing laptops and you're
Yeah,
comparing just the graphics. It's not just the graphics card. It's everything involved to make the graphics work. If you didn't have a CPU in it, guess what? That graphics card don't mean shit.
yeah.
So I would say yes. It seems like it's a decent laptop, but no, it wouldn't be one I would purchase. I'll tell you that right now.
It's a decent laptop, but I wouldn't spend $2,000 on it at the most. Me personally, if I were to put a price tag on this laptop, and I'll be generous, I won't be like, oh, they're shitty. I wouldn't pay $500 for it. No, I'll be realistic. The absolute most I would pay for that particular laptop would probably be around 1,200 bucks. That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say more along the lines of 1,000. A
Yeah.
thousand
So
to 1,100.
so between the two of us, everybody, $1,000 to $1,200 is really all that we see this thing is worth. If they could show a few more stats, a few more benchmarks, well, a few more legitimate benchmarks, and give us a little more detail, I might be able to see a $2,000 price tag. But as it stands, no, I can't.
No, I couldn't either. And with all honesty, with that 2 grand, I would go and purchase myself.
A desktop.
Yeah, I would go and build me another desktop. In fact, I could build 2 desktops for that cost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I
And
built those.
still, and
Those.
still have over 1 terabyte hard drives in each.
Oh yeah. I built those two i5. I built the two i5 APU PCs for just over 700 a piece. So yeah, for the price
Yeah.
of that laptop, you could easily, and they're gaming PCs. we've been running. Well, Grim, I told you about it. We've been running all
Yeah,
sorts of games on their computers, and they've had zero problems with them.
yeah.
So, and if you just want a laptop that I've heard people, not very often, but I've heard people say, I bought a gaming laptop. They're not really playing heavy games on it. I bought the gaming laptop because it has really good display, 1080, it's really fast. Well, you can spend way less than $2,000 and get a fast laptop with good enough graphics to play the few games you play and watch all your movies in full HD.
You can just Netflix and chill.
You could what?
Netflix and chill.
Sort of.
But see, the thing is the laptop for me, I would end up having to hook it up to my damn television. I can't
Huh.
deal with these small fucking screens.
Oh,
I gotta have big screens. I can't do the small monitor of a laptop. It agitates the hell out of me. So speaking of the 1070s, NVIDIA has now shut down their partner program. And mostly because the flack that they're getting is it's illegal and it hurts customers in the end. That is what is being said on Digital Trends. Amid heated controversy, NVIDIA shut down the GeForce Partner Program. And upon reading all of this, I can see why. And then I went and I looked up their actual partner program information that you could read. And it does state in there, you can't use anybody else if you're partnered with us. So meaning it cuts out AMD completely from a company that just partnered themselves with NVIDIA. So
yeah.
meaning that um, HP puts out a laptop and they use an AMD graphics card. Well, they can't do that anymore if they're partnering themselves with NVIDIA. NVIDIA says, no, you can't do that anymore. You have to drop in. You can only use us. That's, no, you can't do that. There's been, like I said, there's a lot of controversy involved with this. In fact, in their, in their requirement, and this is the wording that they use, is whatever the gaming brand is, so whoever the gaming PC or gaming whatever is aligned exclusively with GeForce, meaning they can't use AMD and they can't promote Intel. And people know that Intel does have the CPU on their laptop, and then I think some desktops have it as well. I think. I'm not sure. I don't. Asus. Here's the example that they give. Asus wanted to add Republic of Gamers line to the NVIDIA program, but it wouldn't be allowed to sell the Republic of Gamers product with AMD graphics. And it says here, of course, manufacturers can choose whether to join NVIDIA's program, but membership supposedly has its perks, including access to early technology, sales rebate programs, and game bundling. So, like I was saying, in the wording, it states they can't have anybody else. They can't run anybody else. That's forcing people to use only a certain thing. And I don't know exactly what they call it in the business, but it's not allowed. You can't do that. Now, they're saying it's supposed to be a transparency about NVIDIA and the products they use. and AMD vice president Scott Perkelman, I believe is how his last name is spelled. And if you're watching this, Scott, I'm sorry I didn't his name. But he stated that let's see, how did he put this? He says, without calling the program out by name, to the company's defense, desktops and laptop manufacturers almost always list the hardware components of the product. Thus, NVIDIA's program really wasn't about transparency in the first place, but he felt that it was more so I'm going to say ploy for those who entered into the program to not let anybody else use their brand. Like I said, the Publisher Gamers by Asus, what, add NVIDIA program, or, the partner program, they can't use AMD graphics. And that's basically what they're doing, is they're not giving you the choice that you need, and that's what Perkelman says, is that you're not given a choice of what you want in your system. So you want Republican Gamers, but you want AMD, well, you can't have it because of the partner program. And they're saying that, like I said, the transparency of what they were trying to do as far as this video was, really wasn't really there because it's already been there ahead of time. They already tell you what is on, or in the hardware, in the computer case, when you buy it. It's right there on the side of the damn box. It's right there on the side of the computer with everybody's stickers. It says you have NVIDIA, you have Gigabyte, you have this, you have that. It's all right there, already on the computer or laptop or whatever. So I think NVIDIA was trying to put more money in their pocket because they're about to lose out with Intel starting up its own GPU line. And granted, it's going to probably be about a year or two before we even see anything, but still, the gentleman who was running AMD's GPU department jumped from AMD and over to Intel. And there's been two other guys that have left AMD and gone to Intel as well in the last couple of months. So NVIDIA is scared, and so NVIDIA is trying to force people to only use them so that Intel can't use an Intel GPU if they're in the partner program. So basically it's defeating the purpose of having. Yeah. No, Intel's got coming out with their own GPUs. And Intel is going to be putting Intel GPUs into all of their systems. They're not going to use AMD. They're not going to use NVIDIA. NVIDIA is losing out. And we said that before. We said NVIDIA is going to go downhill.
Yeah, they broke up. Well, it was announced that they were breaking up. 2-3 months ago we did it on the show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, we predicted it back then. Yeah. NVIDIA was going to go downhill. They couldn't make it. Intel would have a hard time because they would have to quickly put together and catch up to where NVIDIA had them. But we also said Intel had the capability, the money, the research team to do it. And NVIDIA was going to crash because they can't do it on their own.
No. And that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to force people into going about this. And right after Intel dropped, or Intel got dropped, or excuse me, Intel dropped NVIDIA with its discrete GPUs, it was, that's when this GeForce partner program came out. So they, at the time, they're like, oh shit, well, we got to figure out a way to make revenue because people aren't going to be wanting to use us. And it was already stated that Intel last year when we reported it, last year when we read the news about it, was that Intel was going to start using discrete AMD graphics before the end of last year. And then at the beginning of this year is when they stated that AMD's head of research and design for their GPUs jumped ship and went to Intel. You know, NVIDIA just lost out. NVIDIA is going to go downhill. They're trying to force people into doing what they want. Strong arming. That's basically what they're doing, is strong arming. And it is illegal to do that. But not Intel. NVIDIA is stating, no, we're not forcing people. We're not, they're basically saying that everybody else is lying without saying it.
Well, they have a loophole in it because they can say, and the article explains it, they can say, hey, this is a voluntary program. We're not making you join this program. But if you do, these are our rules.
Yeah, exactly. And right here it says, according to NVIDIA, all it asked of its partners was brand their products in a way that would be crystal clear. The company says it didn't want substitute GPUs hidden behind a pile of techno jargon. Specifications for desktops and laptops tend to list their graphics components, and PC gamers are generally intelligent shoppers that don't need any clarification. And that's true. We don't need clarification. If it's on there stating that it's what type of GPU, then that's the type of GPU that's in there, or else that's false advertising. And there's no company that I know of like Best Buy and what is Buy Power? Is that the other one? PC Buy Power? I think the name of the company that builds computers. Puget Sound, their system. They're not going to put a AMD card in there and say that it's an NVIDIA card. Nobody's going to do that. If it's NVIDIA, it's NVIDIA. If it's freaking AMD, it's AMD. And it's going to tell you that that's what's in there. There's no techno jargon involved. So NVIDIA is just making excuses. And NVIDIA, and this is their words, they're pulling the controversial program because of the rumors, conjecture, and mistruth going far beyond the program's intent. They brought it upon themselves by putting these loopholes in there, putting specific words in there stating you can't do this if you're going to be here. If you're going to use us, you can't use this, you can't do that. Even if Asus used in their Republic of Gamer system at an NVIDIA, that means Asus can't use AMD nowhere in any of their builds. It's that simple. That's what it is in the contract that they sign with them. So. And Scott Herkelman tweeted out that together we can work to ensure that we give gamers what they truly deserve, freedom of choice. Which is stating that you did not have a freedom of choice if you were to be in this partner program with NVIDIA. Which is true. So it kind of makes it a more solid for me about AMD. What about you?
Do what now? You broke up.
Oh, sorry. It's a solid for me when it comes to AMD with all the bullshit that NVIDIA's been pulling out there. And, AMD is becoming a more solid, company.
I've always been AMD anyway.
Well,
Um,
I did have, well, I probably still do have Intel systems. Um, I've got AMD. I've got some NVIDIA stuff. In fact, the last NVIDIA I bought was the 750 Ti. How it had to update the graphics card from a
yeah.
750 Ti. And that's, the 970, you don't need all that bullshit. You don't need to spend that kind of money on a damn GPU when you can go and spend half of that and get a better card through AMD.
The last 6 computers I've built have all been AMD builds.
Yeah,
Even down to the video cards and everything, they're strictly AMD. Now, my desktop is straight AMD, with the exception, and it wasn't an original part, it's something I added later, with the exception of the second video card that I added is an NVIDIA, but it's only 2 gigs because its only purpose is to run my left monitor and right monitor. That way,
gotcha, yeah,
my main monitor in the middle runs solely off my AMD video card,
yeah,
so that it's not sharing anything with any other monitors. So, I got a 2 gig NVIDIA card sharing its video output with 2 secondary monitors.
yeah. I
But
got,
like I said, that was an afterwards addition. But pretty much, they're all strictly AMD builds.
yeah, my graphics cards that were in my system that I built this computer I got right now in 2014. And I did not upgrade anything until just recently when I had a fan go out on my XFX R9 280X CPU. I had 2 of them in Crossfire. I ran both of them in Crossfire, and it ran fantastic. Never had a problem. Heat was not an issue because I have a very large case. I have the Arc XL from Fractal Design. It's one of the biggest cases they make. And so heat wasn't a problem for me. Everybody's like, oh, the heat, the heat. Well, you know what? Buy a bigger case, use more fans, and use a positive pressure system, not a negative pressure system, when you build your computer. And that's kind of a different discussion when it comes to the type of fans and how many fans are input and output. That's a totally different topic. But I started having issues with it was a Corsair cooling Evo 212, I think it was the 212 Evo cooling block. It was a large tall fan with the fan snapping onto the heat sink. Then it's really big heat sink. I don't know where I got it somewhere. But I ended up having to upgrade my cooling to water cooling, and I bought a nice water cooling closed loop system, and I replaced the graphics card with a single 460 AMD 460, and I think that's the only upgrade that I've done to this system. And like I said, this is an AMD system. It's an AMD build. I'm running the FX 8350 as far as my CPU is concerned. I have not changed my CPU in 4 years. So AMD
That's at
is
the.
kind of solid in my opinion.
Did you get the standard FX 8350 or the black edition?
Black edition.
Okay,
Why?
just wondering. Like I said before, I'm a details guy.
Yeah.
There's a difference
Well,
between the two of them.
yeah, there is a difference. One's locked, the other one's not.
Yeah.
And
No,
I've got
one's faster
mine.
than the other one too.
Yeah, it's what 4.1 I think on the black edition. The other one's 3.6 or something like that.
4.2, I believe. I'd have to look it up.
I don't remember. I just know that I like the unlocked version better. And
Yeah,
it was,
Black Edition's better, I
yeah.
think.
And that was like with my, my graphics cards. Mine were the black edition of the, um, R9 280X. Those were black edition as well, and they were unlocked, GPUs. So I could sit there and I could ramp them some of this up as much as I wanted to within reason, obviously. And the same with my CPU. I could do the same with my CPU. I always wanted to have the option to do what I wanted with my system because it's my system, nobody else. So, but I mean, eventually, well, let's say I bought an AMD system from Gateway one time, and I bought AMD systems. These are pre-built. I bought pre-built AMD systems and pre-built Intel systems, and I'll never go back to buying pre-built systems ever. The cost versus performance, not worth it. I don't know if you feel that same way, but
For the pre-builts,
yeah, your pre-built versus,
uh,
building it yourself. The
I tell
cost per performance.
everybody I talk to, it doesn't matter if it's some random stranger that I overhear a conversation in a store or relatives or friends, build a PC, don't buy one pre-built.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll be more happy building it than you would be going to buy it. Because once you put one system together, and my son, he could tell you, when he built his first one, he got hooked. He was hooked on building PCs from there on. He's the one that's getting his A cert that was in, chat with us one night when we were skating together. Um, but we were playing Path of Exile, and he was in there with us. He didn't play, he just, was talking about how he wanted to put the game back into his computer, which he did, by the way. But, he's built all of his computers after I showed him one time. He got hooked, and now he's getting his A certs. He wants to build computers and he wants to program computers now because he got one taste. And that's all it takes, is that one taste of final accomplishment of something good, and you'll want to keep doing it. Doesn't matter what it is, in all honesty. I mean, building a car. When I got done building my very first car, I'm talking from the ground up, redid the frame, straightened it out as much as you could. Back in the day, you were allowed to buy thin frame cars. But, I straightened the frame out as much as you could. In fact, it was within 99%. Oh my god. Red Dwarf. I love Red Dwarf. Ah, yeah.
What's
Great.
up, Zag? Oh,
Right.
speaking of Zag, Zag
Ooh,
told me the other
what, what,
day
what, 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 what?
he bought the DLC expansion for Elite Dangerous.
Woohoo! Guess what, Dag? As soon as you're able to play, we're playing, bro. We'll fly you around if you want.
I forgot to tell you about that. He told me, I don't know, a few days ago, whatever, when I was uh, doing a little bit
Goofing
of Elite
off.
Dangerous.
You're goofing
Yeah.
off. But yeah, there we go, man. Hey, awesome. Yeah, I know. It's all. But Red Dwarf, nobody watches Red Dwarf anymore, and they're supposed to be remaking the show. They're supposed to be redoing the show itself. I was noticing on a few different forums. So yeah, I love Red Dwarf. That was like Lex. I don't know if anybody ever watched Lex. That was a good show as well.
So, with this show, just made the mistake of jumping in his GD.
What do you mean you made a mistake jumping into GD215? Is that where all of the Stargoids are? Or is that an anarchy system? Or is that one of those freaking stars, pulsars? I got blown up in one of those. Yeah, the neutron star, that's it, yeah. Yeah. I made the mistake of doing that one time. And then I was just flying along. I was like, oh man, this is such a cool star. I wonder how close I can get, before um, my fuel scoop will activate. Next thing I know, I'm overheating. I overheated and blew up before I could get out of there. And I couldn't jump fast enough. And when I tried to jump, I just heated up even faster. So I was done. I blowed up.
We had a guy call into us in the fuel rats one time because he got stuck in a cone and was just tumbling, couldn't get
You
out.
told me about that. You told me about that. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
So I've got part of the show here that I haven't told Grim about. I told him it was going to be a surprise.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I have got to go to the bathroom.
I'm supposed to potty before we leave. Did you get back out, Zag? Well, at least you made it out. Yeah, but if you want to play sometime, let us know. We'll jump in. Both of us, one of us, doesn't matter. Jump in and play with you, do some stuff. If you're up for exploration and you have a good jump range on a ship, or you can get a ship that has a really good jump range, I have a map, a list of planets you can go do. Pretty much, you jump into the system. You just get close enough to one or two planets in each system to scan them, and then jump to the next one. So you go through the list. And you make a ton of money. Or we could do the wing ones where we're hauling stuff and then everybody gets to split the money. That seems to be, they've added that recently. So that seems to be a really good way to make money pretty quick without having to travel halfway across the galaxy. Smoke in the dash and the hole is glowing red. Yeah, it's getting pretty close. I have a Cobra Mark III. How much cargo space can you put in that thing? I forgot how much they hold. I have to look it up here. Let's see. Cobra Mark III maximum cargo capacity 60 tons. Yeah, you've got the default 18 in it right now. But if you take everything out, like don't sell it, but store it on your optional internals, store all of them and just fill everything with cargo racks. So you can max it out. Like I said, we can take you on some of those wing missions where you go deliver stuff because we'll get it done really quick. And even if say you only bring 100 tons worth of cargo back out of the whole, say 2,000, or say 2,100, me and Grim each bring 1,000 back. You're still going to get full payout for it. It doesn't matter if you brought 1 ton back. So we can go pick up some of these that pay out like 10, 15. I've seen
All right.
18 to 20 million, and you'll get the full payout for it. So you'd rack up
We
money
did
pretty quick.
those ones for 39 and 42 million.
Yeah, I haven't seen any more like that since
I
then.
haven't either. We might have to go to a different system, find those payouts.
Yeah, but I was telling him, it doesn't matter. Even if he only brings back 1 ton and we do the rest of the work, he still gets the full amount of pay. So he'll be able to rack up money pretty quick.
Yeah, he will. Make it easy for him.
So I'm going to post a link here. Grim hasn't seen it or heard about it. It's a surprise. It's something I read and was like, holy crap, are you serious? So I'll post the link here and everybody can follow along if they'd like to. Maybe where'd it go?
Yeah, next week's show we're gonna talk about an item that you posted about the upgrading your car, make it a smart car.
All right, here we go. Title of the article says, "Don't panic, but Idaho State University lost some weapons-grade plutonium."
What? Ah!
So, and here's the thing that gets me. They really did lose it. They lost about a gram of it. Here's the part that gets me.
It's been missing since 2004.
In 2003, this gram of plutonium was scheduled for transport to the Idaho National Laboratory to be destroyed. That's where they got it from. They get these things on loan. They said it looks like a quarter. It's about the same color, same size. Little samples for them to test different radiation type things on. But it's sealed in a casing around it that's supposed to keep it from leaking any radiation.
Yeah, it's a transportation field.
Well, no, the whole thing is sealed and like it's supposed to remain sealed even with their testing.
Okay, all right.
What they're using it for, they said, is to test containers for radiation leakage. But the seal on this thing that keeps it safe.
Yeah, I like Zach's comment. Scott.
Yeah, started to degrade. So in 2003, okay, think about this. 15 years ago, this thing was scheduled for transport to be destroyed. Okay, the last record they have for this particular piece of plutonium was in 2004, right? In October of 2017, the university, while conducting a physical inventory of everything, discovered it was missing. Here's my issues. A, why 14 years later do you expect this to still be in your inventory if it was supposed to be disposed of in 03? It should have been expected to leave your inventory in 2003, which means you've sat on the knowledge that it has not been shipped out for destruction for 14 years. B, how do you just now realize 14 years later, oh shit, we're missing plutonium?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the press. It states here that in 2003 it was scheduled for transport to the Idaho National Laboratory, from which it came after a routine leak test revealed the sample had experienced a loss of integrity.
That's what I was saying. They're sealed, and that
but
it
this
had
one is not. This one has a leak.
That's what I said. You need to listen to me.
I'm sorry, I
Q-tip.
was reading. I couldn't help
It's already
myself.
been stated. The seal had degraded and was no longer safe and was to be shipped out for destruction in '03. In 2017, they do an inventory and realize, hey, we're missing this piece, which is what I said. A, why wasn't it sent off 14 years ago? Why did you apparently knowingly sit on this thing? And well, it's in our inventory list. We're just going to keep, checking every time we do
Well,
inventory.
it states here that the last record containing the source of the AP-237 was from November 23rd, 2004. And it was there it said the INL, which is the Idaho National Laboratory, asked the university to dispose of the sealed source itself as it did not want to accept plutonium back in its own inventory.
So 14 years, 13 at that point, has gone by and they do a physical inventory. So they knowingly didn't get rid of it. 13 years after being told to dispose of it themselves, they go do an inventory and it's missing.
And they're only being fined, okay,
Yeah. This is another thing that gets me.
$8,500 for something. I'm sorry, but that is, and they didn't even send off. I mean, yes, it stated that it wasn't enough to warrant a report to the NRC. But you know what? I would still report that.
Well,
It doesn't matter. But they
here's another
never
article.
did.
Here's another article about the same thing. This article states that it is not enough. Second paragraph down, NRC spokesperson said the amount of material was too small to create a nuclear weapon, but said it could be used in a dirty bomb meant to spread the radioactive substance. So you can't create a nuke with it. Okay, so you can't destroy an entire state, right? But it is enough to create a dirty bomb. Dirty bomb, not just to spread radioactive material, but that would give it enough bang to say, I don't know, take down a building.
Well, okay, a city block, maybe, okay? That's the most. But the nuclear radioactiveness of it's the radioactiveness of this substance could go, once it's in the air, it's meant to be spread by air. So this
Yeah,
gets up into the air, and especially on a nice windy day, guess what, Pete? That shit's gonna go for at least, 100 miles? Easy?
yeah. Well, which is what I meant. You can't take down like an entire city or entire state with it. But if the World Trade Centers were still standing and they didn't accomplish what they wanted to with the airplanes, that's big enough to take down one of those or both of them together. I mean, so they're fined $8,500. To me, is like driving a Ferrari down Main Street at like almost 200 miles an hour and getting a warning. You've lost a small piece of plutonium enough to destroy a city block and spread radiation. We're only going to charge you $8,500.
And
The
I
other
bet
article,
you this is
the
in
other article
somebody's
even states
basement.
that nobody knows where it is. They have searched the campus. I'm assuming with radiation detection devices, and it is not on campus. They have
Somebody took it.
lost. They have lost without any accusations. We'll just say they have lost plutonium. Lost it. Completely lost it. Have no freaking clue who has it or where it's at. $8,500. That's it. That's a slap on the wrist. And in 14 years, so they don't know when it disappeared. Sometime between 2004 and October of last year.
Okay, and then
Yeah, so that's just That boggles me. Not only y'all lost it and haven't discovered you lost it for 14 years, but you don't know where it is, who has it, nothing. About 14 years. That's a long time. 14 years ago, we were not worried about terrorists, not like we are now. So who has this thing? You know what I think? Tinfoil hat time. You ready?
Yep.
Somebody sold it to Kim Jong-un, and that's what he's been testing in his rockets.
That's why they don't have a Big Bang.
That's why he suddenly became interested in nuclear rockets. He was like, ooh, look what somebody brought me. Let's build rockets. No, I don't know where it is. It's just it's disturbing that they can't find it and they only charge $8,500 for it.
Yeah.
Or fine, that's ridiculous.
I mean that in itself is ridiculous. I think they should be charging them a fine of in excess of millions and millions of dollars, and for every day that it's freaking missing, they should be charged for it. They should be fined every day that's missing, making them accountable for it.
I don't think they should be charged millions of dollars. This is a school. They probably can't come up with millions of dollars. And I don't think they should be fined for it each day it's missing, because you may never find this thing again and the school would go broke over it. But
well, then it will teach those damn
and I'm not trying to kill the education system of an entire university because of a mistake made by one department, which is why I was going to say I would charge probably over $100,000, right? Make it a substantial amount of money, but make them shut down their radiation, nuclear testing, whatever they call that department. Shut it down completely, never to open it. You are no longer allowed to have this. These students are going to go spend their money at another school now because you're irresponsible and can't take care of what you're supposed to. All their other departments are still open. The school can still make money. Kids are still going to get educations there, but you're no longer allowed to have a nuclear department, whatever they call it.
Okay, if they can't find it, they must not have been looking hard enough, because with just simple deduction of, okay, in this time frame, who were your instructors? Who were the staff that had access to this? And students. Who were the students at that time, okay, who had access to this stuff? Alright? They have records of all this.
Yeah,
it's not going to be that hard. Years. It doesn't matter.
If 14 years ago, now, it's hard to do analogies like this, but try to follow me. If 14 years ago, I stole a piece of plutonium, we were both working at the same place, I stole a piece of plutonium. They didn't find out for 14 years. Am I still going to have that piece of plutonium? Probably not.
But
are there going to be traces of that radiation on me or my belongings in 14 years? Probably not, because I probably won't still have the same belongings. Therefore, there's no evidence as to who took it, so you won't know where it went.
But you can narrow down.
How?
Because, well, okay. Just say it was a student who took it, okay? Just say it was a student who took it. Okay. He wanted to research it more because that's what he wanted to do.
Oh, let's say he wanted to sell it.
Okay.
I mean, there's no telling why it disappeared. It just disappeared.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is say it was a student who wanted to test it, okay? Who wanted to do his own thing. It was going to get destroyed anyway. It wasn't going to be around. But he didn't read all the paperwork and see that it had the exterior for the casing has degraded and it's leaking. Okay? He doesn't know that. So he's going to sit there and he's going to be doing his own test. One day if he's a smart student, he finds out, yes, this thing is leaking now. Shit, I need to get rid of it. He's already going to have radiation poisoning.
Radiation poisoning doesn't last forever.
No, but he still would have to go get help for it because he will need the iodine pills.
It depends on how severe it got. If it didn't get that bad and he caught it early enough, no. He could suck it up and tough it out at home. He wouldn't need medical attention.
You know, Zach, I read that story. I read that story about the Russian plutonium and the guy they used to poison him with it. I read that story. A Russian spy got poisoned with this plutonium, and they were able to track it all over London.
Yeah. I mean,
You
if
know,
that was the case, I think they would have already found it because of the ability to do just that. So I lean more towards it was taken
yeah. I
and
could not
sold,
remember his
or
name. Thanks, Doug.
that it was taken and sold to somebody, given
Yeah.
to somebody, sold to somebody, whatever. Not for, oh, hey, I want to continue testing on my own. Somebody took it for other reasons.
Well, and that's a possibility. They probably took it to sell it because it was going to be destroyed anyway. So they took it and went off with it to sell it to whoever.
No,
And
which is my point. Over 14 years, you're not gonna find out who took it or where it went. Because
well,
if I was the guy that took it, and you go to question all those students that had access in 14 years, and you get to me, I'm just gonna be like, nope, I don't know where it went. I didn't take it. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm gonna lie to you till you're done interviewing me, and then you're on to the next person. I
well,
mean, if I
and that was the thing. That's where I guess that's where the type of interrogations come into play. Because in my personal opinion, when it comes to something like this, and it doesn't matter if it was in England, if it was in France, in Spain, it should be treated the same way with aggressive interrogations.
you're
It's
gonna torture
fucking
14
plutonium.
you're gonna
It's,
torture 14 years worth of students.
I didn't say torture.
Well, how are you
You
going to
would
do it
stimulate it.
aggressively? You can sit there and scream and yell in my face all day long and ask me the same questions over and over and over. As long as I keep saying no, eventually you're not getting anywhere and you're going to let me go, just like you did the guy before me.
Well, see, the thing is the government, even though they don't tell everybody that how they interrogate people in many different ways. And a lot of it is threatening your family.
If
Somebody's
I
going
don't
to
have a
come
family,
in, I'm just saying, they will threaten your family. They will threaten to have your family put in jail. They will threaten to make shit up to get your family into trouble and start smearing names. That's
this
how
is
the
why I
government works.
surprise. This is why I surprise everybody with this at the end. So the Grim puts his tinfoil hat on. He's seen way too many movies.
No,
They can make up things and
they
lie
do make up things
threaten
and
to
lie.
threaten to. I didn't say they didn't. I said they can. They can threaten to do this and that and lock your family up and make up a reason why you're locked up and all that stuff. Yeah, it's happened before, but it rarely happens. And you're talking about threatening and locking up 14 years worth of students and faculty. How many students went through this department in 14 years?
Exactly. Like
Even
I
if
said,
even
like
if
I
they're
said, there
say it's a
should,
semester class and you've got as little as 10 kids per semester, 14 years of it, 280 students, just students, not even counting faculty that would have access to this thing. They're not going to threaten or lock up 280 families.
see, the thing is, they don't know that because most of them are a bunch of snowflakes anyway. But what I'm
Most, but not
saying is,
all.
but what I'm
That's what I'm
saying is,
saying.
there should be something more of an investigation than, oh, well, here, we're just going to fine you, 8,500 because you guys lost a little bit of plutonium that could potentially kill hundreds of thousands of people.
They should.
I, I personally, I take offense that the government isn't more proactive in how it's being dealt with.
But I think the government's probably looking at it in a more sensible fashion as to it's been 14 years. We're probably not going to find this stuff. It's gone by now.
Yeah, but where has it gone? Where did it reach to? And
You'll never
why
know.
hasn't anybody been held accountable?
Well, which is why I said you should find them a large amount, not millions, but a large amount of money, and tell them that they must now cancel that department indefinitely. You're no longer allowed to because you're irresponsible and you lost this plutonium. So the school will lose money with that department. People are going to have to go to a different school to study that particular subject. But as far as finding it, I'm pretty sure the government's thought about it and have decided you're not going to find it. And no matter who you question, you're not going to find it. It's gone.
Oh my god, this has me so fucking.
Because, I mean, yes, it's possible that some idiot took it, sold it to another idiot who took it to some idiot to play with and study. And we just got a shit ton of idiots out there that would get radiation poisoning and have to go to the hospital. Then maybe you'll find it. But most likely, somewhere along the line, somebody wasn't an idiot and put it in a better sealed container so that it is no longer trackable and it has gone anywhere in the world and vanished. You're not going to find it.
I just, it's infuriating.
They should be fined more than $8,500. Like I said, that's a slap on the wrist. That's ridiculous.
I mean, it boggles the mind that, like you said, 14 years, and they're just now doing an inventory, and just
Yeah.
now being found out where, I'm sorry, but if you're running any kind of business, you need to have more than just once every 14 years an inventory. You're checking shit. I mean, look at stores. They check their fucking inventory every damn day. Why aren't they checking theirs at least once a week?
Stores do a complete inventory 2, maybe 3 times a year.
Yeah. Still, that's not every 14 years.
Oh yeah, I know that.
You know.
But along those lines, who are they letting do the inventory? The students? I mean, the
Then they can
dean
just take whatever
at,
they want.
at the bare minimum, the dean, his or herself, should be checking this inventory because you are warehousing such a dangerous item. But the teachers, the instructors of this department should be the ones doing an inventory every, I would say, at least once a month, doing an inventory.
Well, when it comes to something so volatile, then it is. That stuff is very volatile. You would think that there would be something more
Yeah, well,
when
the
it comes to this kind of stuff.
the sample they have is not a volatile portion. I'm trying to find where in here.
Yeah, it's not nuclear grade, but what does it take to become nuclear grade?
We have to blow it up.
No, not to make it nuclear grade. To make things nuclear grade, they end up having to, uh, it has to be bombarded with, use it again. You have to bombard it with um, a certain isotope, I believe. You have to bombard it, and once you bombard it, it becomes, of nuclear grade. And granted, you can't just go down to the damn local, Home Depot and do such a thing. But thanks a lot, pal.
What?
Good, thanks a lot, pal.
Yeah, it's in the article. It says the radioactive source in question poses no direct health issue or risk to public. And it's the way they have it sealed. It's not gonna hurt anybody. But like if you were to put it into a dirty bomb, then obviously it's not sealed anymore. Everything goes airborne. Plus, we all know what happens when you attach any kind of explosion to nuclear material or radioactive material.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's not nuclear material. It's radioactive material.
Yeah. Well, that's why I corrected myself.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying there's a difference between the two. Nuclear versus radioactive. Radioactive is just that. It's radioactive. It's not explosive. Nuclear is. Might not be weapons grade, but it's still nuclear.
Well, this one in particular was weapons grade plutonium. The university's department is their nuclear engineering department. That's what it was. I couldn't remember which department it was or what they called it. But
all right, now Jags wrote here. It's funny. I've seen loads of stories in the UK press and a few weeks about the travelers, about time travelers, and how travel was invented in a few years, 2022 or 2023. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I was just watching some videos on YouTube about photographs of people who should not be in pictures but are wearing actual modern clothing or modern sunglasses or holding a device up to their ear while in these pictures, and they're not Photoshop pictures. So that's kind of, kind of funny. And then he says, what about the Malaysia Airlines flight in Saudi? Let me look that up because I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the airline that disappeared in the Middle East without a trace, nothing in the ocean. Some terrorist group claimed to have captured it, but they found out later that they really didn't have the plane. You do a search for MH370, you should find it.
Yeah.
People had even said that, it hit the ocean, cracked apart and sank before anybody could actually get to the area that they lost contact with it. But they've searched the ocean and there's nothing there.
I'm reading the summary now. 777 200ER Boeing. Last close contact is with air traffic control. Malaysia time.
I'm surprised you didn't hear about that one.
I might have, and it's just only one in and out the other. It's still tracked by military radar and the radiated westward for the final flight path across Malay. It left range at 2 over the mile. 2 and
Yep, it last disappeared over the ocean between Indonesia and whatever that is. Let me see. Thailand, I think it is. I have to look. Isn't it Thailand above Malaysia?
okay, so here it states that
Yes, Thailand.
Western Australia yielded no evidence of the aircraft, but several pieces of marine debris found on the coast of Africa on the Indian Ocean islands off of the coast of Africa. were first discovered 29th of July 2015. Have been confirmed as species of Flight 37. The bulk of the aircraft has not been located, prompting many theories about its disappearance. So parts of it have been found on a coastline. So it's got to be in the water somewhere.
Well, there's lots of theories that they say they found it. They haven't really presented any hard evidence to the public. I mean, other than claiming, hey, we found parts of Flight 370. They really can't produce anything else. This is where I would agree with Zag. I would put on a tinfoil hat. I don't think they found it. I think they've claimed to have found pieces to try to ease family members' minds. I mean, we've got technology. We can reach the deepest parts of the ocean. It may take us a few days,
We
but we can
cannot
reach it. So
reach it personally. You have to send down probes to get that far.
So as I said, we have technology. We can reach the deepest parts of the ocean.
Yeah, but if I can't see it with my own fucking eyes, I don't see it.
Live camera feed, I'm good with that.
I'm not.
If it's a live camera feed. But like I said, they haven't really produced any evidence. I think they're just saying they found pieces just to ease certain people's minds. Because if it was in the ocean, we should be able to find it. I mean, hell, there's ships that have been down there for centuries that we can find, and you can't find an airplane that's only been down there for a few years.
Well, what about that missing flight of five of those CNG that lost over the Bermuda Triangle?
That's the Bermuda Triangle.
They still haven't found them yet?
Still haven't found Amelia Earhart either.
No, they haven't.
That's why I said that's the Bermuda Triangle. That's a whole other story. These people weren't even flying near the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, where is this ocean in reference to the Bermuda Triangle? As far as if you were to
This is
look
over in
straight
Asia.
through if you look
Oh,
through the earth and you get directly right underneath it, is it right on the other side of the ocean? You know what I'm saying? If you go straight through the earth, is it on
yeah, I
that
don't think
axis?
it is.
So you know what I'm saying? If, let's put this little hat on. What if you look at different points of the earth where things like this could happen? That typically goes off. And do they come up to a certain point if you look through the earth? Do they all intersect with a certain in the earth? You know, you don't know.
I think aliens took them.
No, aliens came here. They've seen Earth. They've seen what lives here. They said, "This is fucked up. This is world out."
No, they're still here.
Unless you're one of them.
Maybe. You never know till it's too late.
You never know until it's too late when you get anal probe.
Do I?
You never know it's too late until you're getting anal probe.
Or eating for dinner.
No, anal probe.
No, I don't. I don't know what may have happened to that flight. That I don't honestly think they found anything. But anyway, that was my last little surprise story there. I just thought it was
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Interesting. It's infuriating.
I figure if they haven't used it in 14 years, they're not going to. It's probably at the bottom of the ocean somewhere. It's in
Well,
Mexico.
oh wait, you did see that Japan wants to dump the radioactive waters into the Pacific Ocean.
Do they? Do they really?
Yeah, there was a
I
news
don't.
article on it.
I don't think though. I don't think anybody will let them.
That shit will cause so much problem.
I think that piece of plutonium's in Mexico in a well somewhere. That's why you can't drink the water down there.
You couldn't get the water down there in the first place.
One of the time travelers said aliens invade in 2028. Another one said aliens come and become allies of the U.S. I don't know. I'd like.
Uh,
I don't believe in ghosts. I really don't. But and people have. My wife's even told me that's just weird because she kind of believes in ghosts. I don't. I don't think they're real. But I believe there is the possibility of aliens.
oh, really? Well, let's just say yes, there is the possibility of aliens because it would be arrogant to think that we're the only planet
Yeah, out
that's
of the
got living
entire
beings on
universe.
it. Yeah, out of an entire
Yeah.
universe that has endless possibilities of how things develop. I mean, there's probably technologies out there that aren't as advanced as ours, but probably still cavemen,
Oh yeah.
you know.
But
But
yeah, there's got. I mean, even if they're not advanced enough to travel light years upon light years and come visit our planet. But there's got to be other life other than us, other sentient life, other smart, self-aware life other than us. Because yeah, this can't be the only planet in the entire universe that has life on it. This can't be.
no, no, you're right.
Now, as far as ghosts, I don't believe in ghosts because A, I've never seen one. I think all the stuff on TV is faked. If there's really a ghost, then why haven't more people experienced them? Hey, if there's any ghost around me, I invite you to reveal yourself, slap me, do something, whatever. But it never happens. So I don't believe in ghosts.
Well, I have my own personal experiences, but yeah, that's it. So that's it.
You broke up there
I said I have my own personal experiences in it, so I kind of got my own thing going there.
with ghosts.
Yeah,
I think most of it can be explained other than ghosts. Our oldest one used to watch all these different ghost shows and stuff on TV, like all of them. She was infatuated with them, and I'm like, nope.
well, see, the thing is for me personally, it's I'm pretty sure it's all in my head, but um, when I wake up after I have my nightmares from, being back in Iraq, I still see the faces and the shadows of those people when I'm awake. And then every so often I catch glimpses of them out of the corner of my eye. So I still think that there's a possibility. That's,
I do believe there's a possibility of aliens, though, and I do believe Star Trek is based on realism, and I do believe.
Gene Roddenberry was a time traveler, Dennis.
Well, I mean, one more statement to piss off a group of people. I do believe Star Trek's better than Star Wars. So, with those people pissed off now, um, hey, look at some of the stuff in Star Trek, early Star Trek, right? We've
Yeah.
talked about this before, really briefly on the show, and we've talked about it off show before. As far as Captain Kirk flip open thing, hey, beam me up. Nextel, we had that.
Yep.
And you talk to somebody. We had that shit. Look at Next Generation, right? When Next Generation aired, we did not have all these flat screen TVs. They had them on the ship, though. They had tablets, handheld devices with touchscreens. We didn't, but we have them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All sorts of. Think about early Star Trek, right? They would wipe the little scanner across somebody's forehead, right, and find out all sorts of little help things about them. We don't have that, but we do have forehead scanners for temperature and stuff like that. You don't have to stick it in their mouth or their butt anymore. You just touch their forehead. Bloop. Hey, you got a fever.
Yep. Well, look at it. Zach says, and the guy who writes Simpsons, he's one too.
Oh,
he called it when Trump won.
Exactly. Matt Groening.
Yeah.
You think about, and I've seen the pictures. You think about the episode that they did where Trump became president. I've seen the pictures on Facebook where they put a side-by-side comparison of Trump standing in this mall or something. His
manners
in the Simpsons, and waving to everybody, and people holding up billboard or cardboard signs behind him, and then they put a side-by-side picture of him actually not in a mall, but it was somewhere else with a large group of people, and he was going down the stairs, exact same direction, same wave, same people in the same positions holding signs. Might not have said the exact same thing, obviously, but I mean, pictures were identical. And I've seen 3 or 4 different comparisons like that of the Simpsons and the whole Trump election thing. Yeah. I mean,
well, I want to share this little snippet of a video that I found on Facebook that came to me, and I thought it was funny. It's, we're coming to the end of the show, so I'm gonna put something out there. I hope people laugh about it. It's the toilet plunging guy one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Everybody shield yourself.
So my toilet is stopped up, and every time I flush it to try to unstop it, it just keeps getting filled with more water. And so I searched online how to unstop it up, and a lot of people are suggesting like a plunger. So I found one. I'm not sure if this is the right type for my toilet, but I just wanted y'all to come along with me, so maybe I can help somebody with the stopped up toilet too. Okay, this doesn't seem natural, but I'm supposed to put it right. I'm supposed to put it right here. Huh. This ain't good. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Okay. This ain't working. Oh my God.
Here's a link to the video for everybody too.
So it's not working. It's not working yet. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh my. So they said to just keep going. So I gotta keep going. I don't recommend this. I don't recommend anybody do this. No. Don't do this, guy. If there's another way to do it, I would do it another way. Maybe call somebody. So, this is not good. Just keep going. No. Oh. Okay. So I wasn't having any luck, and I don't know why. I know I wasn't supposed to, but my instincts made me flush the toilet again, and it filled with more water, and there's just so much splashage. Every time you push it, it's splashage everywhere. I don't recommend anybody, but all of a sudden, as I was giving up, it just said, and it all went down the drain. I can't believe it. So for anybody that is going to plunge their toilet, just keep plunging and watch out for the splashage. The splashage is the worst part. I really don't recommend nobody to do this, but yeah, I'm gonna take a shower now.
Watch out for the splashage. Watch out for the splashage. He's gonna go take a shower. Oh hell, that's just too damn funny. And they are all acted out, you know. He puts a little bit of effort into it, and he makes it funny. He does another one with a scorpion. He does another one with a scorpion too.
I've seen a couple different ones that he does, but I mean, some of them are kind of funny. That one just, I don't know. I didn't find it funny because it's like, I don't think anybody, I don't want to say is that dumb they've never used a plunger, but is that sheltered that they've never had to use or see used a plunger?
Yeah. The guy who put it out there, his name is Charles Outlaw, and that's, you know, his channel and everything that he has. And it's just, some of the stuff he puts out there, I know he makes it all up. You know, he's probably not really afraid of something, or he's not, you know, grossed out by or whatever. But he takes some of the most minute things, like plunging a toilet. There are plenty of people out there who do not know how to use a damn plunger. They don't know the difference between a toilet plunger and a sink plunger. They're two different plungers, two different types of plungers. And I was waiting for him to actually hold up a sink plunger when he did this, but he didn't. He had a real plunger, a real toilet plunger. But yeah, some of the stuff he puts out there is just freaking hysterical.
There's people out there that don't know the difference in a lot of things, man.
Yeah, I know it. He does the whole Felicia and Amazon Alexa thing.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, he scripts it out. He acts it out. I'm sure that there's parts of this where he has to stop filming it because he's laughing so damn hard. Some of this stuff is hysterical. Yeah, the plunger works no matter what, sweetheart. After you spend 15 minutes on that damn sink plunger in a toilet. He does one for a spider. Talking about how big the damn spider is, how he's gonna go fight it, and all that other shit. But anyway, peeps, next week we got a few things we're gonna talk about. We have some tech news when it comes to CPU, versus, AMD and, probably the guy with the missing plutonium. That's why he acts the way and looks the way he does.
I did have one last announcement for anybody that cares. It's a short announcement. I have given up Chrome.
And where did you go to? Firefox? You went to Firefox, didn't you?
Nope. Went to Opera.
I was gonna say it's probably Opera. Searchy has Opera on her computer too.
Yep. Got tired of Chrome finally. Wanting to hog resources on my computer and
speaking of Chrome, Google.
And being so nosy, I looked at a bunch of different things. Firefox is pretty close to what Chrome is. They're not much better. I like Opera.
Last Wednesday, the Wednesday just passed. Offline mode for the Google Maps is to be terminated, they said. And the reason why is because they can't track you if you're using it offline. So they're going to make it unavailable offline to Google Maps. So you won't be able to use it to find something if you're just in a hurry to go find something.
I've been an Ellen fan. Not Oprah. Can't stand that woman either.
Yeah, I can't eat any of them. Fucking talk shows in general. Fucking talk shows. Unless it's ours. Ours is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually deleted Chrome off my computer completely, and Opera is my default, and Firefox is my backup. I actually like some of the features. We'll have to do one of these in the show.
Okay.
Different browsers and stuff, because I actually like some of the features Opera offers, privacy features. Not just, Chrome had their incognito mode, whatever, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
Opera has the same thing, but they also have a VPN built into their browser. We'll have to do a browser comparison for one of the shows, because
Yeah.
I've been before installing it and deciding to use it strictly just it. I looked at a lot of stuff, and I actually like Opera, and you can import all your bookmarks and everything exactly like they look on your Chrome browser, so you're not losing anything. Edge, yeah, that's my favorite. Microsoft Edge for life, right? Whatever. Fuck Microsoft Edge. No way for Edge, man.
And the only thing Edge is good for is
It's
downloading Chrome.
downloading. Now it's only good for downloading Opera or Firefox. Chrome sucks too. My main complaint with Chrome, like I said, I don't want to get too much into it. I want to do a segment in a show about browsers, but Chrome really got to be a hog. You open up Chrome and just one tab, go look in Facebook, pull up Facebook in Chrome, and then go open your task manager for your computer and look how many instances of Chrome are running.
Oh yeah, it's freaking like
I'd have
astronomical.
I'd have like a dozen different Chromes, just Chrome, like a dozen of them. And it's like, what the fuck? I got one tab open, just one fucking tab, and there's like 12 instances of Chrome. No, fuck that. That tells me that Chrome's being really nosy.
Well, they're all nosy to an extent.
Got the Windows 10 update and had two choices, yes or no. I got all my questions were answered with a no.
Well, I just redid Churchy's computer and I just put 10 back on it. And right in the beginning, when you're actually setting everything up, it gives you a list of all these different things that are defaultly turned on. And I went through and I was like, nope, 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 nope,
Yeah,
all the way
turn a
down
bunch
every
of shit
bit of
off.
it. Yeah, it's just one of those things that, more and more that you watch any of these programs, they're all coming to, we want to know your location, we want to have access to your contact list, we want this, we want that, and it's like, no, 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 and it's just getting monotonous. Pretty soon it's just going to be computer program, so they, where you at? And that's it. They're just going to ask you where you at, and that's it. No, geez, frightful. Yeah, exactly. Hmm. A little meme that says, person's asking, how old are you? And me, I owned a beeper and replied via PayPal.
Hell yeah, I did.
Me too.
Is if your device or PC is stolen, we can track it for you and you can have it
Yeah.
returned. Um, if somebody breaks into my house and steals my computers, I'm gonna have them replaced with insurance, and I'm not worried about what's on the computers. They're not getting in it. They'll have to, with my desktop in particular, they'll have to replace the motherboard. You can't turn it on without a password as soon as it cuts on, and that's locked at the BIOS level.
Yeah.
Like before it even boots up and shows you the post messages, it asks for a password, an admin password.
Now, did you see that the George Washington University students want to get rid of the mascot and because he's offensive? It's
What's their mascot?
it's a colonial.
So it's an old white guy with gray hair.
Yeah,
Old white guys with gray hair offend them.
and it's their
That's
mascot. He's dressed up in a with a George or the GW on the old hats, and he's got the blue jackets on with the white wig thing on them and stuff. It's
I was
it's the
gonna say
mascot.
that's probably
But
like
then
half their professors, old white guys with gray hair.
yeah, right. But they find it extremely offensive, and
Oh
they're called the colonials. So they have a colonialist as their mascot.
yeah, young people nowadays are pretty stupid. Too many of them are. Not all of them, but too many of them are.
There's another meme that says it has a bunch of cats walking down the path. It says, Fred, are you sure about this? And Fred goes, yes, I'm sure. There's a 40-year-old unmarried woman living over here. She will treat us like dogs. Ah, oh, Lord. Some of the shit people think up. I'm glad I don't think that.
So as we always say at the end of shows, if anybody has any ideas, anything you want to talk about in later shows, I gotta I gotta end this for him, or he's gonna ramble on through Facebook.
Yeah, I am. I am.
Let us know if there's anything y'all want to talk about, any kind of technology, any game type stuff, whatever. We try not to get too political in the show.
Try.
Um, so let us know if there's anything that y'all want to see in the show. Send it to us in Discord. Send it to us in a Twitch message, Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Zags, whenever you want to play some Elite Dangerous, man, let us know.
Yeah. Wonderful.
We will get you some money quickly.
Yeah. We will do our best. To get some money quickly. We should fly to some different systems and try to find the good ones. The good 40,000 or 40 million credit setups.
Yeah, I'm in the new community goals one for this week,
Yeah, I
and I
haven't.
keep looking
Yeah,
every time I go somewhere. But
you haven't found any. I guess we got lucky with those.
And not any big ones. Not any big ones like those yet.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
now
I've
we
seen.
got those large freaking transports. We can fucking do some serious community goals for the transports too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did. I don't know. It was about a day into the community goal, and I did 2 loads of semiconductors and jumped all the way up into top 50%.
Wow.
Of course, it
I'm
was,
still looking around the
just a
Everett
day
system.
into it. So it was just a day into it. So there wasn't a whole lot contributed yet. But yeah, I had 2 loads. It was a little over 1,400 and jumped up in the top 50%.
Yeah. So it shouldn't take much to really get up in there anyway.
Oh, no, it won't take much.
All right, peeps. We are out for now. We will catch you guys next Saturday. And if you guys want to hit us up on our channels, you got Murder and Free, you got myself, and Searchy, obviously. Her computer's back up and running now, so hopefully she'll be back to streaming eventually. But if you guys want to come by and see our channels, do so. Hit those follow buttons, and we will catch you guys later. That's like I always say, peeps. Friends don't let friends get alone. Peace.